Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel once again. So today we are going to learn how we can draw leaves or botanical, or you can say leaves doodle. I'm using these two gel pens size 01 and 05 mm for smaller element and for bigger element. You can also use pencil and then trace everything with the help of pen, but I think we can do it directly with the help of pen itself because these doodles are not very difficult to draw. So let's start with the first one. If you don't have gel pen, you can use normal ball pen as well or pencil to draw all these things. So for the first one, I'm creating a middle string and then creating leaves around it. The base leaf should be bigger in size, and when we go upward direction, you can keep the leaves size smaller. So I'm keeping the leaves little bigger at the base, and going upward, I'm going to keep things smaller in size. I am creating this oval shape and creating the same oval shape to shade the leaf area. So as you can see, I'm going round and round and round to create more structure inside a one single leaves, and then you can create smaller leaves. You can create some middle leaves as in you're covering the string area. So this gives you a nice perspective as compared to creating leaves left and right. Now you can see the first one was quite simple. Now according to the first one itself, we are going to create the second one. So in the second one, we are creating the same process, we are following the same process, but this time we are creating more branches of the leaves. In the first one, we were creating all the leaves around the middle string, but this time I'm creating sub branches as well. Likewise, I have created these two leaves at the base branch, and you can create some smaller leaves as well around each branches. So basically we are following the first one itself, but this time we are creating the more branches, the more sub branches I should say, and creating multiple leaves around it. Again, you can keep the leaf size smaller around the top area and keep the structure bigger around the base. So for the shading also, I have created the same oval kind of shape, repeating the same thing multiple time until we are getting enough shades around the leaves. And we are done with the second one as well. Now let's create the third one is quite simple. So we are creating multiple string, multiple sub branches, but at the tip I'm creating some curls like this. So basically you need to create some curly structure at the tip of each sub branches. You can do the same thing as many times as you want. You can repeat the same thing. You can create multiple sub branches. You can keep this structure smaller, you can keep the structure a little bigger. And basically when you do these kind of things, it's quite easy to draw and very useful when you are drawing some flower bouquet or group of flower, and you can use all these things as a filler. You can use this as flower filler, you can use this as leaves filler, totally fine, but it's very easy to draw and looks very beautiful. You can again keep few structure little smaller at the tip, and we're done with the third one as well. Now let's move to the fourth one. I am doing all these things with the help of pen itself, but you can draw everything with the help of pencil, and then you can draw things with the help of pen. Now let's create this one. So this one is more like pair of the leaves. So basically I'm dividing this particular structure into multiple sub branches. I'm creating pair of leaves around each branch side by side, and then I'm creating multiple smaller leaves at the tip of each branch, and then you can do some shading, like I'm creating one line around each leaf, and then at one side you can do some cross hatching and contouring methods of sketching. So I'm hatching one side of the leaf. Hatching means creating parallel lines side by side. You can create all these lines very close to each other, or you can keep all these lines at distance, totally fine. and you can use all these process to beautify your structure. So we are done with this particular one as well. Now let's create fifth one. So fifth one is more like a lavender flower, but consider it as a leaf only. So I'm creating a middle string, then around it I'm creating a small structure of leaves very close to each other and in a sequence, and basically I'm repeating the same thing. You can keep the middle string in a different direction to get different perspective. So let's create one more tilted towards the downward side, but basically I'm repeating the same thing what I did for other strings. And see, this one is quite simple, but I think it's very useful when you are drawing a flower bouquet or something. So you can create as many as branches you like to, and if you keep the leaves little smaller at the tip, it would be better. Now let's move to the another one. So in this particular one we are creating a tree branch. So this is more like a tree branch itself, creating branches, sub branches, multiple sub branches like that, and then create 2 lines around each branches. Ultimately you can utilize this structure as a leaf, but if you are drawing a tree, then also you can utilize this structure and create some leaves around it. Very simple and useful. Again, I like to use this particular one specifically whenever I try to create a group of flower, because this is simple and easy way to fill your area while doing something like group of flower or flower bouquet. I'm creating one line around these smaller leaves as well. Optional, but you can do all these things. Until now we have learned total 6 doodles. Now let's create few more. So now I'm creating little bigger leaves. So again I'm creating branches, and then I'm creating little longer and pointed leaf, and this time creating little bigger also. So create all these leaves around your branches. You can do some hatching process around one side of the leaf, or you can do hatching process throughout the leaves as well. It's totally fine. I like to keep little negative space around my structure. And basically I'm repeating the same thing going upward direction, keeping the leaves little smaller as compared to the base leaf. So when you create the leaves little smaller, this is more like new leaves are growing. We're done with this particular one as well. You can create 2 lines for the branches. You can do some extra sketching or detailing, totally fine. Now let's create one more. So in this one I'm creating big leaves. So I'm not doing anything fancy in here. So I'm creating only one structure having 3 leaves in it, pointed leaves, bigger in size, and then create some hatching contouring process around this particular leaf to give some extra shading and detailing. Create some hatching process around this leaves as well. I think we should add more structure around it. And then let's move to this particular one. I'm creating one single line around each leaf, and then with the help of contouring method you can create more shadings and lines around the leaves. These things are self-explanatory. You can see all these things what I'm doing and repeat the same thing. I have covered one video around all this sketching process, so you can refer to those videos as well. I can give a link into the description section if you like to refer to that particular video to learn everything about sketching process. And all these doodles are just an example. You can refer to these doodle and create your own doodle, as many as doodle you like to. So while editing, I was not able to record the last one, so I'm showing you the last one again. So you need to create a string, and this time I'm creating leaves around the string only, but in a heart kind of shape. So this is not exactly a smooth heart. You can add little wavy pattern around the edges, and then you can keep some leaves at the tip smaller, and you can create some folds of leaves as well. And then you can do some sketching process around the folds, around the leaves. So in the folding area, I like to do some cross hatching process, and in the middle section I'm going to do some contouring process. Doing all these things is important, so you can do some sketching process around your leaves, around your doodles, and likewise you can create n number of different leaves for yourself. Doesn't matter whether these leaves are really in existence or not, but it's totally fine because it's your art and you can do everything whatever you want to do. We are done with all the doodle for today's painting. Hope you like this video. Do let me know if you have any feedback for me, and thank you so much for supporting me. See you guys in the next video.